This video is brought to you by IONIQ, North America's premier charging network. With unmatched commitment to elevating the customer experience, IONIQ is opening America's roads to all EVs, giving drivers the coverage they need, the reliability they deserve, and the amenities they crave. Years ago, if you wanted to buy an electric car, you really could only choose between a Mitsubishi i-MiEV, a Nissan Leaf, or a Tesla Model S. And there was not really any choice in the electric car market, especially in the North American electric car market. Well, here we are, roughly 15 years later, and we have so many electric cars on sale. Really, the last 3 years or so, we've seen this influx of so much choice that I'm able to shoot a video for you on electric three-row SUVs in completely different price categories, representing a bunch of different vehicles. For example, we have the Hyundai IONIQ 9 here, and we're going to talk about three-row electric SUVs that are in the $50,000 to $80,000 price point, let's say $50,000 to $70,000. Then you have, sort of that $70,000 to $120,000 price point, the luxury, really nice electric three-row SUVs. And then if you want to go crazy, you can do the $120,000 and above, represented by the Escalade IQ over there. All this video is really about is saying, yes, there's choice in the market now if you want an electric car, which is something that really hasn't existed until recently. I'd like to thank the CCAN Action Fund for sponsoring this video. Guys, are you interested in a new electric car? Then this opportunity is definitely one to check out. This year, our friends over at the CCAN Action Fund are giving away not one, not two, but 3 brand new electric cars as part of their yearly raffle. It's bigger than ever, and if you happen to win the first place prize, you can choose between a Porsche Macan or Taycan, a Rivian, or a Lucid Gravity or Lucid Air. But of course, like I mentioned, there's a second place prize, which is still no joke. Volkswagen ID Buzz or Hyundai IONIQ 5, still great electric cars. And for the first time ever in one of these raffles, there's a third place prize, which is a Chevy Equinox EV. Tickets are only $200. There's 10,000 available total. And so that means that your odds of winning have really never been better. This is one of those raffles that many out-of-spec viewers have won in the past, which is why we love working with CCAN Action Fund so much. So all you have to do is head to evraffle.org. Again, evraffle.org to purchase your tickets and enter for a chance to win. Of course, I'll leave the link in the description below. Now, let's get back to the video. Colton.
How you doing?
Well, great, because, we cover the day-to-day minutia of electric cars, and, we always hear about a new thing coming out or something that, might come, and it's always exciting to see what others are doing. But when you really step back and look at the EV market as a whole, especially over the last 2 to 3 years, so many new vehicles have launched in North America, specifically in this category.
Yeah, it's been a huge change. Actually, a year ago in July, we did a 3-row family SUV comparison. There were 4 choices at that time. Now I think we have 9 or 10 choices.
An insane amount, and spanning very different price points as well. So what I've done is I've compiled a list if you want to go into electric SUVs on the low end in terms of probably not even purchasing vehicles like EV9 and IONIQ 9, more lease specials, if you will. And they can be incredible lease deals, a great way to get an electric, safe, but still techie 3-row SUV. Then we have the R1S here. This is our R1S, representing that sort of $70,000 to $120,000 range. And that seems to encompass most 3-row SUVs.
Definitely.
This is EX90 territory. The list goes on and on. What else would be in there?
Vistic,
for sure. That's one that we've done recently.
There's many more that my brain is not braining right now.
I have the list on my phone. And then, we've got the ultra luxury Cadillac Escalade IQ here, but this is really representing the, let's just say, north of 100.
Yeah.
110, 120, Lucid Gravity, other stuff like that over here. So I think most of our audience, just also in terms of numbers, would assimilate more probably with the lower end. And it doesn't even feel right calling the IONIQ 9 and EV9 lower end, but sort of the less expensive models.
Premium economy class.
There you go, premium economy. One thing that I think is still missing here, Colton, and that goes across the whole EV landscape, is real, true, affordable options.
Yeah, definitely agree.
You know, the one thing is, we should also mention, we have an EV9 over here. We just didn't want to confuse all the viewers. When we start talking about the inexpensive options here, what did you lease this is your EV9. What did you lease this for?
So these in Colorado, we always have to say that because we have more incentives. It's only about $3,850 now.
Yeah.
But these are around $299 a month with like $1,000 or $2,000 out of pocket. It's insane.
Yeah, so even though the sticker on this car is almost $70,000.
This is 72 for this particular car. 72
grand. You leased it for
$299 a month. Yeah,
under $300 a month. That's pretty crazy.
It's insane.
So, you know, we always review based off MSRP, but leases are wild. Maybe if you're in the rest of the country, that's a, you know, $399, $450 a month.
Yeah, definitely.
Vehicle. And what we've done here is we've parked the new Hyundai IONIQ 9 over here to represent the sort of the current entry into a 3-row electric SUV. And dude, these cars are so nice. Let's just show everyone around. We'll talk about some specs, because one thing that I am not seeing really increase with the price is the performance figures of the car. I mean that in terms of range and charging. This is one of the best charging and longest range electric SUVs on sale. This is over 300 miles.
Yeah.
And it charges at, what, mid 200 kilowatts.
Yeah, this one's got the newer pack. I haven't exactly seen what the curve is, but I know it's slightly better. They also charge a little bit.
It's actually worse or better?
Higher peak.
Oh, higher peak. Yeah,
yep.
You're right.
A little bit more capacity in it, so all helpful.
But it is funny how their big vehicles charge worse than EV6 and IONIQ 5.
I know. Don't understand that.
Let me show you guys inside of this thing, because dude, this is a fully spec'd one. Let's be totally transparent. This is representing the higher end of this segment, $70,000-ish. But it's got a really nice interior. It drives really well. I've done a first drive review of this in South Korea. And you just drove it over here. What do you think of driving this thing?
Yeah, first impressions were really nice. It's very quiet inside, very isolating. I would say wind noise is slightly on the louder side, but the road and tire noise was actually really impressive. The Bose stereo in here is serviceable and actually a pretty decent sound system.
Yeah, it's better than R1S's sound system, which has gotten better. And then, you know, backseat, that's really why you get these things, is family friendliness. What's funny is Hyundai and Kia especially give you so many features for the money.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane. For example, window shades in the second row. The Escalade IQ, that's a $160,000 car, doesn't even have these.
Yeah, it's double the price of this.
How do you put this seat back?
So back here, this little button on top of the seat.
Okay.
And so this has like
down here as well.
the relaxation pack in it, being the calligraphy. So you've got all of the
Does that just mean it has the world's slowest seats?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's the opposite of relaxing. That's like, I just want to get in the damn car, move the seats faster.
I agree.
Okay, that's annoying. But, you know, 3-row, again, we have full videos on every car we're going to talk about here. And let's show everyone the trunk space, because, again, these are 3-row electric SUVs. They ship with native NACS now. They're built in America. Actually, all of these vehicles here are built in America, and so many of the 3-row electric SUVs are built in America.
There we go.
Fourth time is the charm. IONIQ 9 styling, dude, it's not as good as EV9.
No, not even close.
But, you know, still practical. This is one thing that confuses me. You have this really small opening, and then it opens up.
Yeah,
inside.
that is weird, isn't it? And even the back, I mean, it's definitely a slopey SUV here, but the height here, this is not amazing, I would say.
Yeah, my preference is still go with the EV9, even though it doesn't have quite the range or charging of this. I think that's probably the better move, and better lease deals for sure, because this is a brand new car that just hit dealers. So this is going to still be kind of expensive, but you can get a rear drive base model IONIQ 9 for what's the starting?
58,950.
And EV9 starts at?
Ooh, I think it's mid 50s or so.
Because you can get a smaller battery in the EV9.
Right, and pricing has dropped quite a bit, honestly, on EV9.
Yeah, so if I just take a look at some of my notes, forgive me for looking at my phone, but I have the EV9 starting at 54,900, which is really nice. This starts at just about 60,000, but 335 miles of range.
That's a big number for that.
That's for sure. Really a sizable offering. Now, the thing is, in this affordable category, under $70,000, these are the only two options.
Right.
It's the Koreans.
Right.
And to me, that seems like a little bit of a miss, because I would hope Chevy would have entered the market.
Yeah.
You know, or even Ford. Like Ford could do an Explorer electric, would be really cool to see.
I agree.
Meanwhile, their Explorer electric's a Volkswagen in Europe. It's built on MEB.
That's right. Yeah.
But you know, Expedition electric built on F-150 Lightning would have been a fantastic offering here. A Tahoe electric would have been really cool and still probably coming down the line.
Right.
But it is interesting to me that the Koreans are the only ones making affordable, still expensive, but affordable 3-row electric SUVs, both built in the US now.
Mm-hmm.
And that EV9 is not built in the US, but we have another EV9 here, right?
It's just right behind your R1T.
Okay, that is a built in America one. So stay tuned for an updated video on old versus new EV9. That's coming. Now we get to the bulk of the market. Now this is where there is so much choice, it's almost nauseating. If you want a premium electric SUV that's in that, you know, 70 to 110, you know, ish $1,000 category, it just seems like a never-ending list of options.
It's quite a bit. It really is. So what do we have there? Mercedes EQS.
Right. Yep, R1S, Vistic, EX90, EQS, Tesla Model X, the list goes on.
Yeah, and this is the best one to get out of them.
Well, I love Rivians.
I also love EX90 though.
EX90 is nice, but buggy, but really
very
nice.
Buggy.
And the LiDAR can fry your phone, which is really funny.
We did find that out,
We found that out. But I mean, each car has their own thing. You know, I almost would say EQS kind of in this category.
Yeah.
Up a notch. But, you know, if you go here, Tesla Model X, which was the only option for a long time for a 3-row, that could tow. Like, I remember everyone towing with Model X's because there was no other EVs that could tow out there. Now we have, you know, big battery packs, super luxo stuff here. But I think the Rivian's kind of the move. I agree with you.
Yeah.
And judging by how many I see here in Colorado, it's insane.
Well, this is like Rivian capital of the entire country here.
I mean, if you just drive from Denver to Frisco and back, you'll see 3,000 Rivians.
It's insane.
It's every other car's an R1S.
It really is. Yeah, really is.
And there's a reason. They're unbelievably practical. They're well priced if you go to the base model. I actually think most people spec up their Rivians when they really shouldn't.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this being 105K sticker, it's a lot of money for a dual motor, you know?
Yeah, so we got, this particular one is a dual motor with the big max pack battery pack with the performance software. And that plus every option you could get, over $100,000 for this. But you could get an identical looking Rivian with the LFP battery, which means full charge it every day. Still a great charging car for literally $75,000.
Or you could spend $125,000 and not tell that it looks any different from the base one.
Right, and get a quad motor, which, you know, 4 motors is kind of cool. I'm not against it. I just don't think it's worth it for most people. Come around, let's show everyone the inside, Colton, if you want to peek around. I think Rivian has really done the best job out of any vehicle on making a premium but not pretentious experience that's hard wearing, that's adventure focused, but still just as home in the city. To me, they are almost perfect vehicles.
The best interiors out of any auto manufacturer ever, by far. They're awesome.
Yeah, and the thing with the R1S is it doesn't have all the room in the world. Like, we actually found the Vistic to be pretty comfortable and some other vehicles as well, but it still is like super family friendly, and it came third place or second place in the family SUV comparison from the
it was EV9 R1S Model X EQS.
Okay, so second place.
Yes.
So still pretty good, but it is interesting how practical that EV9 and IONIQ 9 is for the money.
Right. Well, a lot of interior space too. This has the great ancillary space, under trunk rear storage, front storage, where those cars really lack in that department.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. This also has off-road capability that those vehicles have zero of. So there are benefits to stepping up, but if you are just getting a vehicle for the school run, it is hard to justify an extra $20,000 or $30,000 to jump from especially on a lease payment, to jump from a $300 a month lease payment to a $800 a month lease payment, or $700, whatever it would be, into one of these things. I mean, you really have to love, you know, sort of software in these cars are amazing. You really have to love off-roading, Rivian specifically. But even if when you go to the other luxury options, there really isn't that much difference between the IONIQ 9, EV9, and let's say Vistic, for example.
Yeah, I agree. I really think, though, Rivian does such a nice job, especially in the interior compartment, of having an interior that feels extremely nice, but also is not pretentious and overbearing. Like, you go to the Escalade IQ, which we'll look at in a second, and it's just completely different.
Yeah, and I think when we did sort of a comparison test in this category, and we really fell in love with the EX90 and found that was a really nice blend of high quality experience, amazing sound system, great driving dynamics in terms of comfort, and also no off-road cred. None. That's fine. And I think that's kind of a great alternative to this.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah. So, this, like I said, this whole video is about the choice that you can have, and EX90 is a really, really good one.
Well, I think it's cool because for every category you have, like I look at an R1S and I go, okay, I really, really enjoy this thing, but I could care less if it can climb over a rock because I'm driving it to Whole Foods or driving it to work. Like I have no interest in that. So, for me, it's like, yeah, that's really cool, but you may not need that. But then it also does a great job in the city and highway as well.
Yeah, and it's just so hard to ignore Rivian software just clearly being one of the benchmarks in the industry. To me as a tech guy, I love the over-the-air software updates. Like it just got a big one yesterday with Google Maps and a bunch of other cool stuff, and I'm like, that's pretty cool.
And then over here, you have really none of that.
Yeah, so CCNC software in this is really kind of last gen stuff, if you will. It's taking a very combustion platform and electrifying it software tech wise. I actually just spent a lot of time with Hyundai and Kia engineers, and they just keep telling me wait for the next gen. It's going to be very much like zonal architecture, updated capability, global support type thing. That's going to be really exciting to see these guys coming to the next generation.
Yeah, definitely. Totally agree.
And then you get into the stuff that I love.
America.
Well, this is, I'm surprised the parking lot hasn't collapsed, Colton. This is 9,300 pounds of Escalade right here.
Insane. It's a big beast. It really is.
So this is really representing the top tier of electric SUVs, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much more that gets more expensive than this. This is the most expensive, isn't it? For SUVs. Market,
yeah, I mean, like in China, you get Yangwang U8, is it, or U9? I don't remember. But you get some crazy Chinese electric stuff. And there's certainly those like oddball low volume things.
Right.
But this, Lucid Gravity, maybe Hummer EV, probably closer to R1S competitor. But and that's not a 3-row, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a 3-row. Do we have the key to this thing? Yeah, it's going.
Let's try. This just takes a second. Okay. Please wait.
Waiting. Dude, I don't know why I'm showing everyone this, but I just found out that this is an accessory that pops out. You could like cook and do stuff on here, and then you just slide it back in.
I really like this. I posted this on X, Twitter. I still call it Twitter.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, I absolutely hate that because it takes up so much room of the frunk. But like, how do you reach anything back there?
You don't. You got to climb in and flap like a fish to get up there.
Great.
Okay, so here's the thing. Why is this? So this is a $160,000 sticker car.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Is it that much nicer than an EX90?
No, I don't think so.
I actually think they kind of went backwards a little bit.
I agree.
And Lucid Gravity is much less imposing, but has incredible driving dynamics. Actually, in my first drive review, you guys can check it out. Come around the side so you can just see the size of this. In my first drive review of the Escalade IQ, I took it to Lucid's headquarters.
Right.
And I was like, guys, you got to pull a Gravity around. And it was hilarious to see this parked next to the Gravity. Completely different form factor on the outside. The Gravity had more room inside.
It's insane. Their packaging, Lucid packaging, has been, even on air, is mega impressive.
And because you're so much smaller of a footprint, so much lighter, and Lucid engineers working their magic, the Gravity drives literally almost sports car level.
Right.
It has 10 miles less rated range than this with half the battery pack capacity.
Nice.
And faster charging than this as well.
Right.
So, with the Escalade, GM took the approach of no replacement for displacement, but it's no replacement for big ass batteries in this case.
Huge batteries.
This is 220-ish kilowatt hours usable. Absolutely massive battery. It's the 24 module pack we know and love from Sierra and Silverado. 380 kilowatt charging, which is awesome. Like, it's still a good road tripper. Over 600 miles of range at 60 miles an hour. Tom's test with Pete driving.
So cool.
So cool. And I love it. I love the land yachtness. I love the American XS. Let's show everyone inside. I just think, this is kind of baller, Colton.
Oh, it's definitely baller. It feels imposing when you're driving this thing on the road. You just feel like the king of the road.
And that is the thing the Gravity didn't capture. So when I did this versus Gravity, I put a bunch of Lucid people in the Escalade, and they were all like, okay, the Gravity's objectively 100-time better car.
Sure.
And I would agree with that.
Yeah.
But everyone was like, this is kind of cool because it's just so excessive.
I mean, this is American excess on wheels. Like, you just look at how thick the battery pack is here from the bottom of the car to the floor. That's all you need to know about this thing.
It's like, because this exists, a recession must be coming soon.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you've got 24-inch wheels, 35-inch tires on here.
Yeah. Same tires that you get on Denali and RST Silverado.
Insane.
Yeah. It's so cool because it is so stupid.
Yes.
And that's, you know, even at this price category, you get choice of, you know, smart range or dumb range, smart handling or dumb handling, features, and just heavy plastic in this case, because there's nothing real about any of this stuff. This is just straight up GM plastic in here. But still cool, dude. And honestly, I would go Gravity over this all day long.
Oh, for sure.
But there is just something cool about this.
Yeah, definitely. It's just, I don't know. I think you put your wife in one of these cars and she's just going to be as happy as can be. Shout out to Michael. Of course.
Michael just got one. One of our friends who's been on the channel a few times. He got one for his wife. She loves it.
Absolutely loves it.
And how could you not? It is literally the biggest, baddest vehicle on the road.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you get the IQL, it's even cooler.
Yeah, 4 inches longer, right?
Yeah, and it weighs a little bit more, of course.
Need more weight for sure.
Absolutely. So, you know, in general, no matter the price category you go, we have choice in the electric SUV market. And this is really just as a showcase to say, hey, you no longer have to buy a Model X.
Yeah.
You still can. Model X is awesome. It still has incredible software. It still, I think, has a great interior. And, you know, FSD is unmatched, completely unmatched in our market. So there are reasons why you would still go with the OG. But if you don't want a Tesla for whatever reason, which is a growing number of our audience, not just because of political reasons, but people like cars and they like choice. And now you've got so much you can choose out of everything, factoring in price. What would you go for? What's
Gravity.
That's the
Immediately.
SUV for you?
I really think Gravity is probably going to be one of the best SUVs, gas or electric. I mean, the capability that thing can do is going to be insane. The packaging inside of it, that to me is really intriguing and really impressive. You know,
Cayenne Electric's coming. I just did a video on that on this channel. Another vehicle to include here. I mean, it's always, we tend to talk about 3 rows a lot, but there's a lot of 2 rows, Q6 e-tron, the list goes on and on. But we're talking full size, I guess. I'm really excited for E4 Cayenne.
Yes.
But I still think the Porsche engineers are not going to match what Lucid did with the Gravity. I don't know why. I haven't driven Cayenne yet, haven't spent time with it, but I still feel like Lucid just nailed the Gravity so well. And their only issue is producing it. Like, they just need to get them out, and they need to get them into reviews, and they need to show people what that car can do, because there was so much excitement around it, and then now it's fizzled.
Yeah, I think you're seeing that growing with a lot of manufacturers of like launching something and then we wait, things get delayed.
Yeah, ID Buzz.
Exactly. You know, R3X, R3, which kind of rained on the parade of R2, stuff like that. It's pretty interesting. Gravity to me sits at a very interesting price point. I think you have a lot of people who are saying, wow, it's too expensive. But then when you really look at where it sits in terms of everything else, it's like, that's a lot
way
of
less than this.
Way
it
less.
Can do way more than this can do.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I agree with you, actually. I think Gravity is the vehicle. And we've been lucky enough to play around with every electric SUV that's on the market or even coming soon. And I've been the most impressed with Gravity because they have thought about the total package. They've thought about the software, the driving dynamics, the usability, the towing. I think the price point's actually very reasonable on it as well.
I agree.
And the range and charging is amazing. And these are road trip vehicles. You take your families with them. You know, that's something we always complain about with Rivian is, you know, amazing car, kind of hard to, not hard to road trip, but just, you know, it's not class leading.
Not amazing thermals, not amazing charging on it. But I mean,
still doable. Still, I've driven them cross country a million times. Still doable.
But we should mention also that most people are going to daily commute in these 30 to 50 miles a day, going to plug them in at home. You know, so that's a consideration. If you don't want the fastest charging, like you don't need something like this. You don't need Gravity, but if you want it, you have it.
Yeah, so I think, Colton, if we just wrap all the way back around to where we started at a much more reasonably priced segment than $160,000. The smart money is buying, I think, for what most people are doing, which is driving on pavement and commuting.
Yeah.
The smart money is down here.
I agree.
And this should sell, like, I don't know, I don't actually think the sales numbers reflect this, but this should sell like 10 to 1 of this category, and these should sell like 20 to 1 of the next category up. But I think people buying electric cars really are writing checks for big dollar vehicles.
They are. I think the challenging thing though, and I still feel this, of like buying them outright seems a little crazy to me. Like this being almost $80,000 for a Hyundai, that's a hard proposition. You know, 70, 75,000 for a Kia, that's a hard proposition. Then you move to a company like this and you go, that money kind of makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, when a Rivian's 75 grand, now you're like, oh, okay, that actually feels like a pretty good value.
Yeah, absolutely. So these do feel a little challenging on price, but again, they lease quite a bit better.
But you can get a base one for 50s.
You can. You definitely can.
But you don't really want the base one.
No, you don't. You kind of have to go like
one up.
Yeah, towards the top, I would say, on those.
Yeah. So I think, you know, smart money is leasing a new one of these, or now that EV9s are coming up on the used market.
Yeah. There's going to be some good deals. They have had their issues with those. I've heard of a bunch of motor failures on them, as well as some battery pack issues.
Yeah, battery, motor, ICCU, 12 volt.
Yep.
Those are the ones that I know of.
Main issues.
Get an extended warranty.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm not one that's going to own a car out of warranty.
Oh, I own a lot of cars out of warranty, and yeah, I mean, we've got Alex.
Write checks.
Yeah, we've got the Out of Spec Renew channel to keep them going.
Yeah, of course.
And everyone has access to, you know, Wattworks, Alex's shop as well.
Yeah,
but in general, I would say, you know, a lot of people spend big money for the vehicles, don't end up needing them. Leasing something down here is great. Buying used is great. Or just buy a Lucid Gravity.
Yep, that's what you should do. Spend all the money on it.
Regardless of anything, to wrap it around to the beginning of this video, we now have choice in the market. If you're looking for an electric SUV, it's no longer Model X or nothing. Model X is still a great choice for many people, and it doesn't sell that well anymore, or maybe it has just flatlined, but I don't see that many new ones on the road.
No. Well, you can't tell they're new either.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But, you know, at least there's so many more options. And what's interesting is it is very category based.
Yeah.
If you start to work your way down to the small SUV segment, when you start talking about Model Y competitors,
it's very different directions.
It's almost like you just buy a Model Y still.
Yeah, totally agree.
Because a lot of the expensive cost of the 3 rows can justify more engineering time to go into them, more, I would say, fully holistic vehicles. Whereas in the small SUV space, a lot of it's hodgepodge, not really well put together cars that are not totally well thought out yet.
Yeah.
And so we need more choice down there. And we also need more sedan choice. There's like literally Model 3 and IONIQ 6.
Yeah.
What else is there?
For small sedans, not much. I mean, you have Model S, Taycan, of course, but then you're paying, you know, get up to $250,000 in those cars.
But in this segment, and actually the electric pickup truck segment, there's a lot to choose from, which is kind of exciting.
I mean, though, even if you think about it, Model Y competitors, there's a lot.
There's a lot, but are there good ones?
No. And they keep launching now in 25 with, like, not great specs on them.
Yeah, the new Subaru Cross, what is it?
Uncharted.
Gridlock is what Scott called it earlier, but because it's meant to be used in the city and not uncharted territory.
Right, exactly.
Anyway, that's a whole nother topic. But if you're looking for a 3-row SUV, it's almost hard to pick.
Yeah, they do everything so differently, and I think that's the challenging thing. I think for me, pick number 2 would be Rivian, probably, if you have the money to spend on a car. Because it just, like you always say, the spider web of capability of this car is pretty hard to match.
Yeah, R1's just an incredible product, without question. Gravity is going to be also an incredible product, without question, because we've spent time with it. And but still, dude, I love that Escalade IQ as well.
Yeah, I can appreciate all of them.
Yeah,
I really can.
Well, thanks so much for watching. Let us know which one you would pick. Let us know if you're excited about the choice, or even if you've been following electric cars long enough to remember when it literally was Nissan Leaf, iMeave, Model S. That's all it used to be.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in another one again soon. Bye-bye.